Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You. And on my BitChute channel, Comic Freak, today we're going to be talking about the Kyoto Fire, or the abbreviated name, KyoAni. You know, the fire where that guy claimed the studio had stolen one of his scripts or movies and decided to burn down the place, resulting in 33 people being killed. Now, this in of itself is a great tragedy, and we'll be talking about it in this video. But what has come after is that a bunch of feminists and SJWs have decided to use this incident to promote their agenda of feminism and how men are evil. Yes, you heard me right. Feminists are once again putting their foots in their mouths and pretty much proving that SJWs destroy everything. Yes. Now, they have gone on to say that KyoAni was the one studio that promoted equality better than any other Japanese animation studio by having more women on staff than men. Even though how many people usually worked at the studio was 34 people. So 14 of them were men and 20 of them were women. As others have noted and pointed out, that's basically, 50-50. If there were about 3 people on either side, it still wouldn't be that much of a difference. I mean, yes, there were more women than men working at the studio. But it was such a small percentage. And they had dared, the SJWs have dared call this a deliberate blow against women. Oh, great. Yeah, this is a blow against women. Among the victims was the director of the anime of Season 1 of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. An anime I haven't personally seen, but the SJWs have personally overlooked any of the contributions of the men of Kyoto Animation. And it is a sad blow. I was hoping to eventually check out this anime, but it looks like it probably will never get a second season unless another animation studio handles it. And the director, as I've said, is now dead. Now, another news about this incident, as I've said, the man thought the studio had stolen from him, and he deliberately set the fire at the escape exits as well as the entrance of the animation studio to prevent anyone from escaping, resulting in 33 deaths as well as numerous injuries to people, I think, who were, because I did mention that there were other people at the studio who weren't part of the staff that have been burned and that survived. All I know is that 33 people were dead and people are now mourning them. And yet, on top of the bodies of these victims, the feminists, as well as the shill media, are trying to say this is all about their agenda, about how this hurts feminism, how feminists and women should rise up, even though this has nothing to do with it, and that the studio was just an animation studio, not a beacon of virtue for progressives. No! These people are dead, and you're treading on their graves, you stupid, idiotic, greedy people. Or you completely brainwashed morons. Stop this. People are mourning for their deaths. Their family are mourning for their deaths. Have some sense. Here is another mourner who left flowers at the KyoAni building after the firefighters were able to put the fire out and, take the bodies of the victims away. Now, do you think he cares about how this affects women and feminists or their agenda? Or do you think he honestly thinks it's a horrible thing that happened? Now, in my own opinion, there's a chance he could, and there's a chance he doesn't, because I don't know who this man is. But he was good enough to go to the animation studio and leave flowers and try to mourn for the loss of the people who lost their lives in the building. For all we know, He could have lost someone who was related to him, a wife, or even a child, because we don't know how old this guy is. He looks like a young man, though, so for all we know, he was probably maybe a brother or his sister. And here we can see the damage the man who set the fire caused. The fire pretty much devastated and gutted the building, it looks like. I guess we can hope those people actually suffocated from carbon monoxide poisoning than rather getting burned to death. But I've heard bad things, that a lot of people who got out of there were burned badly. Thank you, nameless person who's now being treated, as I've heard, for mental illness. So there's a good chance this incident here was caused for nothing. There's a good chance he didn't have anything stolen from him, and he just acted on one of his psychotic impulses and killed a bunch of people. As I've said, there's numerous things that have happened in this incident, and it pretty much shows that what we are dealing with in America, with all this nonsense of SJWs, as well as people copy striking others over such silly little things. It just shows you when reality slaps you in the face that it is bad. But apparently others don't get that idea. Apparently others will try to use something like this to further their cause. And they have no idea what they're setting themselves up for. You know, people act on their impulses and can do something bad and sometimes something good. Sometimes those impulses are from mental illness, or sometimes they are from a sound mind that has been told bad things and they act out on it, and they end up causing something bad to happen. Like, say, the SJWs, who are acting on this knowledge that their agenda is the right thing. Now, I won't tell you that their behavior won't cause people to respond to them in kind when those people are in a position to hold it over them, but I will say most likely it will happen. And that, well, the SJWs will most likely lose all their positions and money because they're not about, well, providing for themselves or their family or getting higher in society. They're all about their agenda, and their agenda continuously destroys itself. So eventually, they'll come begging to others for help, but those others who they mistreated, well, they'll tell them to go away. And I can't say anything but that is a good thing. We can't listen to these people, and we can't let them take over everything, including an incident where people were hurt and killed just so that they can promote themselves. Because they need this power so badly that they're such shills or so empty inside that they'll drag people down with them, as well as trying to claw over the dead bodies of people who died so miserably. I'm sorry if this video is a downer, but I wanted to get this off my chest. I feel kind of in the same position. I feel like I'm sort of, well, as I said, crawling over the dead bodies of the people who died in KyoAni. But I want to say what I have to feel about this. Now, I left a couple of pictures that are more hopeful in this video, like the pictures from Dragon Maid, so we could go out on a more hopeful note. And I hope you enjoy them. I put one in earlier in the video, and it was a good video. But know that we have lost the director, and that most likely this will, if it gets another season, will be handled by another animation studio. But know this, that KyoAni Animation made incredibly good shows and films, and they'll be remembered. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me at my YouTube channel, Read Comics, They're Bad For You, and go over to BitChute and subscribe there at Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit that like button and leave some comments down below. Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.